Yes, yes, hello. I feel like in honor of Finn, he's here in spirit.
Well, and
I
in
feel like,
bobblehead.
And in bobblehead. Well, that's kind of spirit. It is another edition of the Reality Check, larger than live, out here on the Oasis, the back 40 at House Gamble. I'm trying to say it exactly like he would, maybe. I am Gamble, and no, this isn't Finn. This is the edition of Gamble and Family, but you can see what quarantine has done for almost 5 months.
Quarantine did not turn Finn into Mrs. Gamble.
No, I'm not suggesting that. But, I mean, we're supposed to be family. This is my lovely bride, Lori, of almost 24 years.
Yes,
Sorry.
that's correct.
See, I got it right this time. You chided me for missing a year. It's so delightful. I just missed a year. How,
Which year did you miss?
A few of them,
Was
actually,
it like
but that's okay.
A day here and there.
But Finn did the great artwork in our three boys in the background, Matthew, Michael, and Nathan, and we're 0 for 3.
No, I think he drew Nathan to be indifferent.
No, he drew him shirtless and very disinterested.
Disinterested,
right. And I would
exactly
say that's
what's
the case.
happening.
He just turned 15 yesterday, so a little belated happy birthday. Matthew and Michael turned, God, I keep losing track of years, 22 and 20 earlier in July. So that's earlier, right? But anyway, we got a good show for you tonight. And Finn, let's explain this right out of the top here. Finn is self-quarantining. His daughter, Minnie Finn, set to essentially move in, if you will, this coming Sunday. And part of the protocol where she's attending is you had to kind of quarantine for 7 days. Then she'll have to quarantine for the 7 days when she gets there. And then they'll probably go virtual learning anyway. And it'll be a semester of quarantine where you get bent over for a comma, I think, after 2 numbers. But that's neither here nor there. Looking out for you, Finn. But he's paying attention tonight.
He's commenting.
He is commenting.
Normally, I'm the commenter.
You are the commenter.
In secret, I'm Gamble and Finn behind the scenes.
Right. Yes.
I try to comment in your voice.
Good luck with that. I may lose my voice tonight. I appear to have come down with. I don't have the C word. I just have something in the air. And I got to be honest with you. Once again, the weather forecasters suck. They said the humidity level today would be irritating. It's delightful.
It's irritating.
I mean, it's irritating. It's nice out here. It feels great.
Well, see, I have this hair.
I don't have any hair.
It's curly, and it tells me when it's humid.
Oh, come on.
You don't have the
women's
same
speak.
barometer.
Anyway, but Finn is commenting, and I will say this about my man. God love him for being as faithful. I mean, you talk about somebody who could have just said, to hell with this. Nobody will know. He has been as honest and as, just the whole thing. So anyway, so let's start with a drink. You give a little background here.
Yeah.
Because I think to get through this time with me here, you're going to need a beverage. And
so I maybe am making up the beverage of the night, but people aren't going to have my special ingredient. But really the making of this drink is a nod to someone who has made the most of this whole C word quarantine. So in a nutshell, I happened onto a gentleman by the name of Paul Lemasters, Poul.
Who the hell spells it that way?
His parents. I don't know.
Somebody hit the wrong key?
So I
don't know. Just
maybe.
Saying. Maybe
it was a hospital error.
It's unique. Well, God knows that can happen.
Well, he's kind of an interesting fella. He is friends with former coworker with a friend of mine who is an attorney. He has a degree.
Good, because I'll need an attorney at some point.
No, this is great. He has a degree in mortuary science and a law degree, and I think he's parlayed
together.
He's parlayed that into. I think maybe he does legal advice for funeral homes. I don't know.
Legal advice for those about the murder?
I don't know.
I'm just thinking.
But way back in March, he and his wife were out at a bar when the governor in Ohio made the declaration of shut down bars and restaurants, and they went home. I suspect they'd had a few when they came up with the idea, but every night of the actual quarantine until bars and restaurants were able to be open again, he did a quarantine cocktail show from his basement.
You've shown me.
So he's got a speakeasy in his basement. It's really cool. I'll tag him on here later. But I happened to make something a couple weeks ago, as I randomly do, which was a simple syrup. no details needed. But I messaged Paul and said, back me into a summer cocktail using my orange vanilla infused simple syrup. And God love him, he did. It has no name, so maybe by the end of this show we could have people watching.
Well, a lot of our viewers,
name.
they do play. Lisa usually heads it up. It's usually a drinking game, and they come up with something that I say too much or Finn does too many times, whatever. But every time we do that, you knock one back.
So maybe tonight, if they're not drinking, they could come up with a name for this.
Right.
I thought I would go with the extra large mule glass, but that might be a bad idea.
You can't. Please, just go. You probably need a drink out of a shot glass to be able to make it through the night.
Okay, so if you watch Paul's show, he's hilarious. He does 8 minutes of research on the drinks that he makes, and it's really interesting. But he's kept it up since the bars and restaurants opened, and his season 2 is Sunday night and Wednesday nights.
Okay. By the way, 8 minutes of research. I'll have to try that sometime. That sounds about right.
Wait, I got to pour the water out because nobody wants that. Okay, so in the promo, I said vodka or tequila, but because I love The Rock, I went with tequila. So it's 1 to 2 ounces of tequila. I'm going for 2.
Just threw my arm out.
Yep. My homemade orange vanilla simple syrup, about a half ounce of that. Hang on here. Fresh squeezed orange.
I like this. I might have a shot tonight.
And then ginger beer. I don't have a lot of room. Whoa.
Why don't you knock a few of those back?
I know, right? Okay.
Old goat bite.
So I don't have anything to stir this. Ooh, wait.
I might not have to watch Law and Order tonight.
I have a pen. Okay, that's good.
A pen?
All right. So there you go. So this drink has no name, but it's orange vanilla, tequila, or vodka. Okay, wait.
I was going to say, you take a couple sips of that and I'll talk. How about that? That's a hell of a plan, right?
That's delicious. Yeah, that's really good.
All right, now, I'd be remiss, so give the ingredients quickly again.
Yeah. Tequila or vodka, orange vanilla infused simple syrup. I shall post the recipe after the show. Fresh squeezed orange and ginger beer.
Okay.
So it's a mule.
All right.
Of sorts.
I've been accused of being a donkey many times, but never necessarily a mule.
But it needs a name, so there we go.
A week from tonight, we have a special show. We're not going to show. We have a preview. We're going to show you not now, but we will show you that because we're going to be out on location. It's the Reality Check Roadshow. It's our first one, and we think we've got the perfect spot. If you're an East Sider, and I mean way East Sider, you're going to love this. Brings back some memories for maybe some of you who are in our demographic, but we'll get to that a little bit later and give you a promo that Finn and you were there on site. We filmed one, had a special guest in the promo too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he wasn't so pleased about being in it.
No.
But nonetheless, we'll tell you what's going on. And I'd be remiss, earlier this week, and this is where we're shameless because we don't really set things up all so good, but Finn and we met over at our office. This is our office, but we have another office, and we met to discuss some of our special guests and some of what we've got coming up at a place called Fueled Collective. All right, yes.
We actually have a meeting there this week.
We do. That's right, on Wednesday. But if you haven't seen it and you're somebody who, doesn't necessarily have the massive office, doesn't have the need for, we're a small business, but it's a great place to go and meet. They've got meeting rooms with great AV. You can do fundraisers. You can do all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And they have a bar. You can have a beverage.
Ooh, maybe I'll make one of these.
You could. But anyway, we're talking about having some of our special guests. Andy Furman, if you remember Furman, longtime host of Sports Talk. Catherine Nero, who's really kind of carved a niche for herself. But we're working to kind of narrow this. Lance McAllister actually is going to join us. He's on the air right now hosting Sports Talk on 700 WLW, where we normally are Thursday nights. Gamble and Finn, the Reality Check, 9 to midnight, except this month in August because the Reds play baseball every Thursday night. So we'll have some extra for you on special guest shows, and we'll be giving you more details on that momentarily.
Is Lance on the air tonight? I thought he tweeted that he was gone till
Oh, no,
August
you know
18th.
what? I'm incorrect. Mo is on tonight. Thank you for following his Twitter. My bad, Fred. I did not. Lance, I think he's in town, but he's on vacation tonight. So Mo,
he's staycationing.
He is staycationing. Mo is handling sports talk.
I don't want to staycation.
And
just quickly back to the Fuel Collective. So it's ideal not to have business meetings at your kitchen table if you're trying to run a business. Right.
Although we've kind of done that sometimes because we've had to.
Okay.
Let me give you another. Speaking of offices, this is one thing that has come to mind. I have a number of friends who work for large companies, and they've been essentially working from home ever since all this began.
WFH, if you follow.
Oh, cut that. That stuff just sends me over the edge.
I have to think about that when I see it.
All that crap. Well, let me give you a little precursor maybe you ought to think about if you're in a leadership position and have people working from home. I know this probably won't come to a great surprise, but this one friend of mine was saying, yeah, everybody in our unit, everybody wants to work from home. And I said, well, hell yeah, they do. Of course they do. Because you can roll your ass out of bed. You can walk down not wearing pants, sit in front of a computer on a Zoom call. I'm just telling you, over time, the productivity of these people is going to go down. It's going to go down. That's why, and his company is now working from home through the end of the year. And after I've paid attention to what's happened over the past couple of days, why don't we just call off the rest of existence?
Yeah.
Because I think that's where we are now.
Well, and if you expect or think that adults lack productivity, what do you think kids who have to take online school?
Right.
One of my sisters, and I won't name the school, but her daughter's school, with their virtual start to school, has told their student body they have to be in uniform, in front of the camera, no eating, no chewing gum, no laying in bed. I'm not saying that maybe our student did that when he had to do virtual learning.
That's why he didn't do so good.
Yeah. So, they're trying, but.
It's Gamble and Lori. It's Gamble and Family tonight. Gamble and Finn. Reality check larger than live. Normally, Finn will be back next week. We're on the road, our road show. But don't forget, like, share, tell a friend. We've got our customized URL on our YouTube page. Check that out as well. But, look. And you're going to, it's recommended in Kentucky now, I think that recommended for now that all schools start virtual until September 28th. Now, I was told
at least September
28th. There's all sorts of ins and outs. I know Ohio will find out maybe more tomorrow afternoon. But I mean, look, I saw where tonight, Middletown, I know they had a bunch of people outside the high school because they've, I guess, canceled extracurricular activities for the fall, and I love they had a great sign about the middies, don't keep down the middies and everybody. I mean, kids.
What is a middie?
It's their nickname. I'm not sure exactly. I like it though. I don't know what it is.
Do they have a mascot?
The middie, I guess.
It's like a person.
It's a person dressed up like a middie, whatever a middie is. I like mascots where you don't know really what they are. I think they make the most sense.
The ambiguity, the vagueness, open for interpretation.
But I'm sure there's somebody out there who's offended by a middie, so that'll get lobbed off at some point.
We can't be saying that.
But I guess, and another friend of mine brings this up to me every day. He says, let me get this straight. You can do virtually everything else in life today, but you can't go to school.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to the grocery store, you can go to the home improvement store, you can go wherever you need to go except school. Mm-hmm. I don't get it.
I think I wore my sunglasses so that the extreme eye roll at this whole situation would not be viewed.
Maybe. It's to the point, I guess we're almost 5 months into this, and I get it. Look, I'm not here to say for a minute that this hasn't been a serious, the C word hasn't caused deaths. There's lots of cases, whatever the case may be. But at some point, we're going to have to collectively make a decision that if you get it, go home, quarantine. If you don't feel well, don't go out, and let's move on.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, I don't know. Now, I was told by somebody else. I got lots of sources out there. I get calls from my sources all day. I was told by somebody else just less than 30 minutes ago
So wait, this is Gamble and Finn breaking news.
This is breaking news.
Do we have a graphic for that, Eagle?
No, we do not.
We don't.
We do not. We can get
next
get one
week
made.
We'll have.
But I was literally told that I guess the commissioner in this state, in the Bluegrass state, is going to meet with somebody politically later in the week to basically say that they're going to start athletics.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was told. I don't know. You hear now these Power of Five. It was the Mid-American Conference over the weekend. Ohio State apparently said, not Ohio State, the Big Ten Conference, of which Ohio State is a member, even though they can't add because they have more than 10. But the Big Ten said something about canceling in the fall. Apparently it was a 10-2 vote. Iowa, Nebraska saying, let's go, and now retracted that.
Right. No, now they're saying we didn't cancel.
Right.
What is it? We're going to delay.
Oh, please, come on. Yeah. And I was told, I have a source in Arizona who told me that the Pac-12 will follow suit when the Big Ten does. I think the Power 5 conferences, but then the SEC is kind of thinking about running rogue, and some of the ACC, and I know Trevor Lawrence of Clemson, Justin Fields of Ohio State, the two quarterbacks have come out and said, I get it that they want to play.
Yeah.
I get the only thing I've said from day one is, and I think at the high school level, this bears fruit worse than at any other level. You have to be realistic. In other words, if I'm an athletic director, and God love all you ADs and coaches out there, but especially the ADs, because then, now will there be any fans? Will it just be parents? Will there be limited seating capacity? They're the ones that have to figure all of this out. And it's not easy. No. They don't have these massive staffs. But good time to inject a great story. I was told, and this is what you're up against when you deal with people wearing a mask, not wanting to wear a mask. I was told by someone who was running a local golf tournament where they had a mask mandate in areas
for an outside sport. You had to have it on outside.
You had to have it on when you were in a congregate situation. So in other words, if you were around a group of people, when you walked out, like when you hit your tee shot and you walked and spectators walked, you could take it off.
Okay.
But when you were around people, you were expected to wear it. I have no issue with that. Well, he had a spectator, a parent of a player who said, not wearing a mask. And I love this. The guy said, well, you have three options. You can leave the course now immediately. I'm going to pull your son from the tournament. You can hang on a minute, and you can take him with you. Or I'm going to shut the whole thing down, and I'm going to tell everybody here that you're the reason why. And he said, because I don't want to be, I don't want to be the one that all of a sudden, and then I love, this is the best part of it. Then he looked at the guy and he said, it's a tough decision. Take your time. And that has to be the best line of all. And the guy said, apparently, give me the blanket mask, and he wore it. But I mean, those are the kind of circumstances, I guess, and that's the problem. And I will tell you that I truly believe this. There are enough teachers. There are enough people at schools. Can you imagine?
No.
Elementary, middle school. I've seen some of the recent news reports about separating the desks, trying to get people. My favorite one is the shield now. You look like something out of Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever.
Yeah, but Dr. Burke says we can have the face shield and we can decorate them.
Okay, but great. That'll be awesome. I can tell you, I'm going to put.
That's what I want to do is decorate my face shield.
That'll be great for me. I can put 2 words on it, and I don't have to tell you what they are. That's what will be written on my face shield, and you can see it, and you can just leave me alone.
Right.
But I would tell you this: they had a superintendent.
Will you bedazzle that, or will you just write it in a Sharpie?
I'd absolutely just write it in a Sharpie.
Right.
I might print it out and tape it on there so I can't see. Can't see anyway.
It doesn't matter.
So. There was a superintendent being interviewed. This I don't understand. The person on the news station who's out by themselves, camera, just them, wearing a mask. I don't get that.
Right.
I mean, I understand they're trying to set the example, please. Anyway.
Are they within 6-10 feet of anybody?
Camera, they social distance.
Right. They put their microphone way
I can't
way
talk
over
about
away.
any of this crap anymore. So how has it been? Have you enjoyed your time with me? I get laughed at now. This is normal. I get laughed at during the course of the day, too.
I know. Well,
it's been
talked
almost
about
5
this.
months.
I was on your Thursday night show.
You were.
A couple months back.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of briefly touched on kind of marriage in the time of. I kind of feel like this whole, how many months has it been? January, March? 5 months?
It'll be 5 months
right?
on approximately the 12th. Which
so what was
is
supposed
Wednesday.
to be 2 weeks to 2 weeks, 2 to 5 weeks or so to flatten the curve. I kind of feel like we've been through this whole stages of coronavirus. Initially it was.
You said it.
I know.
You should be removed from the program now.
I know. For Harry Potter fans, it'd be like saying Voldemort.
Oh God. I tell you what, for Harry Potter fans, bring them over here and I take them out back and beat their ass because it won't be too hard to do that.
Well, you'll have to start with me.
Well, that would be bad. I won't do that. I was taught a long time ago by my mom and dad never hit a woman.
But, okay.
Other people, I'll hit.
But it's like the stages of, right? So way back when in March, early April, there was kind of this. Okay, we'll just do whatever. People were afraid. What's going on? What's happening? Then you entered into this whole the novel way of doing things. Zoom, having the Zoom happy hours, and I did it all that, connect with people because you can't go anywhere. Then the reality of we're not going back to school, graduations aren't happening.
Right.
You had that whole piece which my heart breaks for kids, college kids. I have a lot of friends who had
UC
kids
and
that
Xavier
graduated.
had theirs over the weekend, still virtual.
Yeah.
I mean,
now we're in the summer, and now you have this growing lack of trust in information that's being shared. And I think I don't care where you fall. We're not talking politics tonight, but I don't care where you are. If you don't have a healthy dose of skepticism on the information that's being shared, then I don't know what planet you're living on. But now we're getting into a whole new season. Now you're screwing with people and their love of football, and that's now people start to feel bad for wanting to have normal things in their life again.
Yeah.
You're vilified for wanting some normalcy. But in the midst of all that, and I've said this, what I think has happened is this whole C word has been kind of the great exposer. That's my own personal take. So instead of maybe the great equalizer, which I think from a business standpoint or jobs or school, it is.
I think there was a dancer one time that had that name, the Great Exposer.
The Great Exposer.
Maybe I heard it wrong, but I thought.
But from a family marriage standpoint, if you had cracks in your marriage before the C word.
I have cracks, but not necessarily in the marriage.
Marriage cracks,
not
my
bad.
Cracks
Okay.
like your bobblehead.
Like when my pants fall down. When
I can't even
over.
get away from it. The back of the bobblehead.
It shows my butt cracks, so that's a true likeness of me. If you'd like to see that, just hang
good.
out around the yard. You're guaranteed.
Yeah, but if you have cracks in your marriage, I think you've either been able to shore them up.
Right.
Or they have grown much, much, much wider. And what I said on your show a few months back was because of the challenges you've had with your vision and not being able to drive and me leaving my place of employment to be able to, I don't want to say take care of you because that's not right.
You're making me feel guilty.
No. But we had a lot of practice. So we were way ahead of people.
Yeah, but come on now. We're going on almost a year and a half. I mean, I'm done with this crap.
Yeah. But what I said a couple months ago was I think it's not natural for married people to spend every waking moment together.
But we don't. I mean,
don't?
No, we don't. I mean, I know it's sometimes
Does it just
living with me
feel like
seems
it
like
does?
it. It does. It does.
But I think married couples and families who have been able to kind of find their own space. If you're working from home, find the places to do that. Maintain some level of, independence while also being together all the time. And if you're here in Kentucky, you're together alone.
The other thing I've heard recently too is a lot of people early on started with all of those projects that we never did.
Yeah.
Now there's no excuse. I'm here. I've got nothing but time. Now people, understandably, I would put myself in the same category. Now you're tired of that.
Yeah.
Whatever you've done, you've done enough.
I'm over it.
Yeah, it's time to have some fun. It's time to do something different. Having fun is what we do. This is Larger Than Live. On Monday nights, it's the Reality Check. Normally Thursday nights, 9 to midnight on 700 WLW. I'm Gamble. Normally Finn is next to me. He's self-quarantining at home so he can take his daughter, Minnie Finn, to college as she begins that next voyage in her life. So Lori, ably pinch hitting tonight. At least she's not a member of the Reds bullpen. Mm-hmm. Michael Lorenzen, Cody Reed. We'll get to that momentarily. I need just 2 minutes to just get that off my chest, and then I'll feel better.
Please get it off your chest with this show and not
we've still
in
got
the house.
Show and tell. Yeah, watching Reds games. But they were on such a roll and then yesterday, but I digress. But don't forget to join us. And let's do this. Let's take a little respite here and let you see next Monday, because we're going to take our show on the road, not just a week from tonight, and it's important to note we'll be on at 6. And we want you to come out and join us if you can. It should be a fun night. We'll let you see the promo. Finn and I went out along with Lori to the location, so we'll let you hear it, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. A week from tonight, we'll be out east at this.
Hello, guys and gals, cats and kittens, and
what is this?
Movie fans of all sorts, Reds fans, larger-than-life fans. It's your old buddies Gamble and Finn and special guest Calvin.
Yeah, I'll speak now while you try to contain him. Hey, it's Larger Than Live, and coming up next Monday, we do hit the road. We take the show on the road, and we're going to be here at the Starlight Drive-In. I believe it's Amelia, technically.
Yeah, just out past Amelia.
Worldwide premiere of a movie, and we're going to be kind of the precursor, if you will. That's the right word for that, right?
Yep, the movie is called How We Lookin', and before it, it'll be How We Lookin' and How We Sound, and we're going to give you about an hour's worth of preview. Hopefully be talking to Josh Sneed and Terry and all those behind the scenes with the movie. We'll see if we can wrangle Marty. And this is a big movie about Marty Brennaman that has all kind. It is chock full of Reds celebrities and Cincinnati celebrities.
Yes, a lot of big names from Big Red Machine to modern day, and they're all going to be a part of it. And this is going to be your first chance to see it and hear about it from us. We'll be on at 6. We're normally at 7, but we'll be there at 6. And I think that's because the Catalina Wine Mixer, they will take the stage or the parking lot or wherever here at Starlight at 7. And then that follows the movie premiere, How We Lookin', which is a phrase that Marty made famous during Reds broadcast. And boy, would he be making it famous this year to this point.
Whew, man, oh man. Nice. So again, 6 o'clock, not 7 o'clock. This coming Monday, Larger Than Live. The Reality Check hits the road, if you will. Gamble, Finn, you, Marty, and everybody. Reds Nation unites at the Starlight Drive-In, Monday the 17th. Get here early, and we will be here for you in case you can't be. Details to follow on how you can get tickets.
And Calvin is not allowed. No pets allowed
no.
On set that evening. Yes. So, Cal, we're sorry, but he wants to get the hell out of here. So we're done. So there you have it. A week from tonight, it'll be the Reality Check Roadshow. Gamble, Finn, Lori will be on hand. The Eagle, who's producing the show by himself tonight, they'll all be there. Calvin, however, you got to see Calvin, will not. No. He had enough of rocks, of heat. In fact, when we were done, he literally crawled underneath Finn's car to take a little respite. But 6 o'clock, we're on from 6 to 7. And then Catalina Wine Mixer will take the stage or the lot, whatever. They'll play from about 7 to 8. And then the worldwide premiere of How We Lookin'. And for those of you who have listened to Marty Brennaman during his 46 years of radio play-by-play of the Cincinnati Reds, it's all his phrase that he coined, and it'll have some Reds in it from all the kind of decades that Marty has called Reds games. So How We Lookin' next Monday night. Hope you can make plans. Come on out and join us. All the details you can see there. We'll be posting this promo again.
Yeah, we shared the event onto the Gamble and Finn page. So if you're on there, you can check it out.
And we'll show it on Facebook and our YouTube channel as well if you want to see the promo again. But again, that's next Monday, the worldwide premiere of How We Lookin' at the Starlight Drive-In, which is pretty simple. If you get off Beachmont Avenue and head due east for about, I think off the exit, it's about
like 8.5 miles.
8.5 miles. The screen is in the back, but it's been a long time. In fact, we'll save this story for next week.
No,
it's been so long since I've been at a drive-in. You can even participate in telling this story because it was you and me talking.
Well, I won't be on your show next week.
We'll somehow fit you in for this one. It's a great story. shows maybe I've missed a few things over the years, but nonetheless. But it's a cool place, and it should be a fun movie. And anytime involved, and we have Marty. Hopefully, will join us. Comedian Josh Sneed. We've had him on the program on Thursday nights on 700 WLW. He'll join us as well, and fittingly, will be set up. They have kind of like a center, and they have a ticket booth when you come in, obviously, and then in the center they have restrooms and concessions. We'll be right outside the restroom, which is really, very appropriate for us.
Because that's the best internet
It is.
signal.
Best internet, best Wi-Fi, all that kind of stuff. So we want to make sure that for those who can't join us.
We don't come with our own, digital.
I mean, look, this is we got to get, look.
We're lucky to be on.
This is the C word time, man. I need an event. I own a small business here. This sucks. I mean,
we're just happy to go out and set up tables
get out
and chairs,
see people, right?
And hang signs, and we haven't ordered any yet.
Which we will. I'm working
People
on that.
won't know who you are.
Oh, if they some won't. That is true. But I will tell you, it is the other piece to this puzzle too is, if you're unaware, the C word only comes out at 10:01, or I think it really becomes rampant at 11:01.
Yeah.
So
because you can still the C word can be lingering at your table.
Right, but
at 11
it won't show itself
until 11.
Until 11. Yeah. This is so damn dumb. I mean, this is a kind of illogic that I don't understand. So now, the last 2 weeks, the bars in this state, the Bluegrass state, were closed.
Yeah.
Now they can open, and again, last call's at 10. You got to knock it back by 11, which means people are probably ordering multiple beverages at 10.
Right.
But now restaurants can't serve food after 10 anymore. I don't know
I
how
didn't
many.
know that.
Yeah, that's another new thing too. It's just so, some of this stuff is so silly.
Let's be fair. Who's ordering food at a restaurant after 11 without a cocktail?
Well, I'll give you that.
Right.
Restaurants are but here's what I would tell you.
They would have come to that on their own. They didn't need it mandated.
Yeah, but what I would
them.
tell you is after many cocktails, that's when you need food.
Well, like Cheetos and stuff.
We can't eat. Who's getting? I mean, when's the last time we went to a restaurant and ordered Cheetos?
That would be great, though.
It would?
Yeah. I would have Cheetos as a side to some.
Okay, so you're working
dish.
out 4 to 5 days a week and eating Cheetos. That's a good plan.
I'm not eating Cheetos.
No?
Yeah.
All right, so now, I'm trying to think of what I had a couple other things, and I know
you're not going to let me tell the story of the drive-in.
Not yet. No, that's next. That's when we're at the drive-in.
Okay.
You have to wait till when we're at the drive-in.
Is that a tease?
You do. That's what they call. That's
in
a
the
tease,
biz,
right?
That's what they call it.
And if we had breaks, I'd be teasing across the break.
Okay.
It's all these little radio lingo.
We don't have breaks here.
That produce nothing. They give you all this empirical data. I've never known anybody who, back when they used to do diaries, now they do these people meters, which I think they survey like 8 people. It's the most ridiculous way to rate radio stations ever. I mean, it really and truly is. There were certain scenarios where, like, if you were in the bathroom at Great American Ballpark and you had a people meter and it picked up the radio play, you'd get credit for that. Or if you were in the dentist office and like they had on a station,
that
easy
sounds like
listening
C-word,
before they drilled your
data.
ass into the ground. That's how you got it.
That sounds like C-word data collection.
Well, it might be. It might be. Now, let me talk Reds for just a minute, if I can.
Please do.
So, love me some Reds. Need the Reds to win. This is the Reds' year, or so we've all been told. And if you've been watching the Reds, and what else have you been doing? I mean, there isn't a whole hell of a lot else. Although I will tell you, I've thoroughly enjoyed the Stanley Cup, getting into the playoffs, the NHL, who have done something like I'm getting away from the Reds, but they had how many tests? 18,500 tests for the C word
across all teams.
Across all teams, because they've done the bubble. 0.
Huh.
So the bubble works from the NBA, but anyway.
So are those tests included in our numbers?
I have probably not.
That helps the
which one of the Ohio governors is it? The test that was given by you would think the Secret Service would have the tests of all tests,
Only
right?
the positive test was counted.
Right. Anyway, sorry. So the Reds.
I digress.
Here's what I would tell you about the Reds. I still think they're going to win the National League Central. I do. I know it's frustrating to watch because the bullpen has been absolutely, positively horrific. I know people are irate at David Bell, at the tweaking and the twinging and the yanking of starters. And I don't get the bringing guys in on back-to-back days. Michael Lorenzen, put the weights down, get the ball over the plate, get somebody out. Please. He's been god-awful, and I don't understand how on Saturday.
Nathan could get somebody out better than him.
Well, I don't know about that. His
could.
arm hurts every time he throws.
No.
He's probably got a strained oblique like half the other pitchers in the league, whatever the hell an oblique is. But anyway, and then Cody Reed. I plead with you, if you're listening, Dick Williams, Nick Kroll, all my friends at the Reds, please, I can't watch Cody Reed throw another pitch in a Reds uniform. But I will tell you this. Starting pitching between Sonny Gray, Trevor Bauer, Luis Castillo's been probably one of the worst. Anthony DeSclafani's looked outstanding. Tyler Mally's looked good. This starting pitching, I still expect the Reds, and I think now they're going to get fans back. They're working toward getting fans back at some point in MLB. I've thoroughly enjoyed watching the games until the bullpen comes in. Then I just turn it off. Yes.
So if there's fans back at the stadium, do they displace the cardboard fans?
That's a great question.
If you paid, God love the Reds Community Fund.
Oh, no, it's
fans
awesome. Yeah.
We love everybody there.
Charlie, Frank, Matt Wagner, everybody there. Jerome, Jeremy.
Because let's face it, if you're selling tickets to the Reds, you're selling Diamond Club seats.
Well, maybe. I don't know. And, it's
spatter
funny.
you around?
I think they're going to have to. because they're going to have, they're going to start with a limited capacity.
But
that's a great question.
That's a bit of a conundrum that they've created with their cardboard cutouts.
Well, you know what you can do? You can put the cardboard cutout in between live people in the seats.
It could be So Michael and I don't mean to cut you off, but I do because that's
all
what
the time.
I do.
Normally you don't listen to me.
That's what I do.
Really
Michael and I bought tickets to
he told me about this, yeah.
Friday night.
Well, you're not coming home after that. You got to go somewhere for 14 days.
You're
not getting around me.
Happening. Well, maybe that's why I'm. Yes.
Because you want to get away from me for 14 days. What movie are you going to see? I was told that going to the movies is not good.
Well, we're going to see Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Because you haven't seen that before.
I have seen it a
times.
whole lot.
I don't get that.
It's comeback classics.
Okay.
That's what they're doing.
Well,
at
because
the
you
theater.
can't have a new movie because
there aren't any.
Right.
And any of the ones that were supposed to come out went out onto Netflix. You know what that is?
I
Netflix.
know what it is. I don't watch it though.
No.
There's enough of it. I'm still trying to get through Law and Order.
But you buy your tickets, and then whatever group of seats you purchase, they block the seats next to you.
Makes sense.
So we'll be seeing Raiders of the Lost Ark and the original Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay. When's this?
Friday night.
There you go. See, there's
what
quarantine does. When you want your wife to have a romantic evening with you on Friday night, she goes to the movies.
But here's the thing. Do you have any idea how exciting it was to buy? This is how sad the world has become. How exciting it was to buy a ticket to a movie that I saw when it came out originally in the early 80s. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Obviously,
I can't wait to go see that movie.
We've got a buzzing life at home.
But nobody has a life at home. Who's got a life?
Well, we've got a life at home. Eagle says he does. That's because Eagle's a loser and sits in front of every video game known to mankind. No? Mm-hmm. Eagle says
he has. Yeah, that's
that
bad.
Loser. Yep. that qualifies.
He hangs
you're
out
right.
with his roommates, which is what essentially all the families are doing.
But I will tell you.
So I'm sorry, the Reds.
No, there is the Reds.
Using
it's
the cutouts as the block seats.
But what I will tell you though is I do think we've reached about the point of no return in terms of, I think you can stay home and you can do not much and you can find things to do to a point.
Mm-hmm.
And what I worry about though is what happens in the winter. At least now in the summer, on days like this, you can get out and enjoy the outside. I know I talk to Finn every day. He takes Calvin for a lengthy walk. I usually walk. I got new shoes. Well, I got new shoes after my middle son threw my other shoes that I was walking in the garbage and put it out, and Rumpke took it.
You only got new shoes because I made you get new shoes.
You did.
Because
you did.
Tom is, for those that maybe don't know him as well, he's a bit stubborn. And he's produced.
That's a lie.
He's produced a child that is a contrarian, so there's a little bit of that in you. So you've been wearing these hideous shoes.
They're bad. They have no support whatsoever.
And you walk a lot. You're an avid walker now. You were forced into it, and you've embraced it. and now you have this massive blister.
That's a
on your
word
foot.
I don't hear a lot around home. Embrace.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
So yeah,
Drink-
so
you
it was
drinking?
kind of.
Have another.
I don't
Have
have
another.
I don't
I'll
have,
help
I
you
don't,
in the
I don't have
house.
the fixins for
Have
it.
another.
Yeah, so I took you to a
You
local
did.
running shoe establishment over
Yeah.
in Edgewood.
Correct. And yeah,
And you bought some shoes, which I think you bought New Balance. So we were at a work thing recently, and Joe Daneman from Fox 19 Sports was interviewing somebody from Covcath, I think, and he had on. It was either Covcath or Dixie.
I think it was
Might have
from
been
Dixie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had on some really awesome Nike shoes. Not anything we
Right,
would
right.
wear. And Joe commented,
We're not hip
No,
enough
we're not.
anymore.
Joe commented to him about how he used to wear shoes like that, but he
Right.
had recently purchased some new running shoes, and they were New Balance. And he said it like that was kind of a sign of old age.
Yeah. Well, it's just a sign of you. Anyway.
It's a sign.
Every
It's
time
a
well,
sign.
don't forget, I'm in a few more weeks. I'm 57. I'm on the.
You're closer to
closer
60
I know.
than you are to 50.
You
Did I
keep-
say that?
You've said that multiple times. Keep
Okay.
reminding me. You're still
And I'm
closer
not.
to 50. I know.
Yes.
I know.
Okay.
Now,
Wait, we can get a discount at the at another cell phone company.
Oh, awesome. Now I can get that. I can join AARP. I can get old people discounts. I'm not far from Medicaid and Social Security. I can't wait. That's just something awesome to look forward to. But I will tell you, my troubling thing is I love music, and I want to go to a concert. I know Finn, because he's in the industry, I think he's kind of burned out, and I get that. But, I mean, that's where I think I am, and that's sporting event, concerts. Although the Florence Yalls,
Yeah.
they're playing, I think, for a period of 6 weeks, and I'm going to go out there one night.
Yeah, you were
And
on
I
a
was-
phone call recently with someone who said he was bringing his family down.
Yeah,
just-
we said, hey, live
It's
sports,
live sports.
it's baseball, and when the Reds, and I don't know how they're going to do the tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to start with their season ticket holders, et cetera. But I mean, at this point, I'll do anything to get out. It's the reality check, larger than live.
Well, you'll do anything to get me to drive you to go.
oh yeah,
out
that's
somewhere.
true. Yeah,
So
I
what
forgot
you do,
about
I
that.
do.
Right, that's fine.
But what I do, you don't do.
Okay, that's usually the way it works.
Right.
You usually make a cursory ask, like, hey, do you want to go to the pool? Not really.
I've
Not-
cursory asked you if you want to go to the park to work out.
I'm not going to a park to work out with 7 women. I mean,
There's probably people watching this who would love that.
what, you want me to go and just?
Work out
Well, I do. I do it on my own.
in your new walking shoes.
My new walking shoes. So just let me work out on my own. And I don't like to talk to people either when I'm working out.
You don't have to do that.
I like to huff and puff on my own.
Well, that's because you talk on the phone when you walk.
I do sometimes. And when you walk around a neighborhood and you wave at people, they don't wave back.
No,
so you don't have
they
to
don't.
talk to anybody. So it's okay. Everybody's a jerk.
and
except
there,
me.
and there we have it.
There we do have it. All right, time for show and tell.
Yeah, so I have something, but
Yeah, do you want to go for? So anyway, hang on.
Oh yeah,
You
wait,
know what
wait.
time it is?
Wait, I think it works this week.
It does?
Yeah.
It's time for. And here we go. Since we missed it last week, you know what it's time for? It's time for. See, proving that it's live, and if we don't get it right the first time, damn it, we'll come back with it the next week.
'Cause
Okay.
that's, you know,
So the story and tell piece is show
Story
and
and
tell.
tell.
Well, it's actually, yes,
It
show
is a
and
bit of a
tell
story.
being the story.
Yeah.
So each week, Finn and I, this week you, find something, and it can be anything that you want to show the viewers, and it has a story, and tell the story about it.
Yeah.
And we've asked people to send in if they
Where's
so
yours?
choose. It's on. It's too big to carry.
oh, okay.
So
Okay, so
right.
I'm going to start mine, but we're going to go to you because I'm curious if anybody who's watching live knows who these people are. Because so Eagle is what age group? Mid-20s.
Eagle, yeah, I don't know what he's on the backside of 20, right?
Yeah,
He's
so-
getting to be a goat.
Yeah.
So what are you called? What is that age group considered? Of course you are.
He's at
part
the
of the
end
millennial
of, like
group.
at the end of the
Right.
millennial Gen Z.
Okay.
You know. Yeah.
Okay.
92. Yeah. So in there.
That's
okay.
when he was
okay.
born?
Yes.
Damn, I'm old.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Anyway.
Ooh, this picture was taken nary a year later.
In 93.
So,
okay.
I showed
well, so
it.
you really can't. You can't. But I saw
No,
you
I
have
know,
been
but
1 year
but he's
old.
a sports. You know, he's a sports fan.
For the record, I don't know that I'd call this sport.
Okay. It's a sport for the
Well,
love.
it's a
So
stretch.
I pulled this out kind of in honor of the Olympics.
Okay.
Now Summer Olympics didn't happen this year.
And
the
Summer Olympics, which will happen again in 2043.
Yeah, probably. So I used to work for my stepfather,
Right.
who ran the Greater Cincinnati Sports and Events Commission. It's something else now. We've been gone for a long time. We had an event way back in the day. So I think he's got a picture of this, but I'll hold it up here too. So I showed this to
Look
Eagle.
how young you look.
I know. So I think you can see it on the screen too. I showed it to Eagle tonight, and I said, other than me, do you know either of the people in this photo? And he said, no. And I said, okay, I'm going to give you a hint. World-class athlete, Olympians, no. Figure skating, no.
Pretty much 0 for 3.
Then I went with East Germany, which he probably doesn't even know, like, East Germany was a thing. That got nothing. Then I actually said the name of one of the people in the
Right.
photo. Still nothing.
And when you said the name, I said hot.
Right, yeah. So Tom, you do yours, and I'm curious if anybody
Okay.
who's watching knows who these people are.
All right.
We'll come back.
So I mentioned the road to the Stanley Cup, which now it's drilled down to 16 teams. In Game 5, some of them were round-robin kind of positioning games. The Vegas Golden Knights in the Western Conference, my sons are all fans of, and they got the number 1 seed because they were undefeated. But the Columbus Blue Jackets, in what I was thinking about, has become a state of losers. I mean, if you think about Ohio, the Indians had 6 years in a row where they really, and then they blew a World Series. They really didn't win anything. The Cavaliers just suck. I mean, let's be honest, they're dreadful. The Blue Jackets have caved in before. The Reds recently haven't been great. The Bengals suck, right?
Yeah.
So professional sports hadn't been good. But the Blue Jackets, after in Game 4, a chance to put away Toronto, led 3-0 late, gave up 3 goals, wound up losing 4-3. I give them credit. They came back last night, was 1-0 for most of the game, then they tacked 2 on late, won 3-0 to advance in the Eastern Conference. So, my middle son, Michael, got his first hockey sweater. Seth Jones, defenseman, longtime standout player for the Jackets, autographed, and Heirloom Framing Company with my good buddy Andy up in the Fairfield area did the framing of it. So there it is. Seth Jones, autographed and framed hockey sweater from the Blue Jackets as they play on in the postseason. And kudos to Brian Gieschenslag, who does a great job. He'll be involved with the Reds once the Jackets, and he still is, but he does a great job with the Jackets. Brian's a good dude, so there you go. Go Jackets.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So I think Kathy Jackish, she got it.
Okay.
So Eagle, if you'll go back to it. So that's Katarina Witt and Brian Boitano, who both skated here, I think, well, I know she did, in the 1987 World Figure Skating Championships, which was at Riverfront Coliseum, where at the time my stepfather, Don Schumacher, was the president of the building, and was really how Cincinnati kind of entered into the amateur sports tourism and big event scene. Katarina.
Hot.
Yeah.
Sexy. Horrifying personality.
Yeah.
Brutal.
She skated
but that didn't really matter.
She debuted her professional career and that's what I was looking at earlier, at the Diet Coke Skaters Championship in 1992, and then came back. This was an event made for television in Cincinnati. But Cincinnati at the time was really kind of a figure skating hotbed, for
Cincinnati
events.
now gets no sporting events.
Yeah.
0, zip, zilch.
Well,
really?
I think once the effort to bring
World
the
Cup,
2012
I guess.
Olympics
Oh, the 2012 Olympics, really, in Cincinnati. Don't get me going on that again.
We'll bring Don in someday.
Cincinnati hosting the Olympics. Can you imagine anybody tried to get around in Cincinnati anywhere lately? Can you imagine that? Of course, when they had the Olympics, they had events in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Because it's regional, because it's a massive event if and when it ever happens again.
Yeah. So there's my claim to fame.
There you go.
I couldn't get my Price
How
is
did
Right.
you find that picture? Yeah, that would have been better.
My Price is Right sticker, name tag, because it's buried in part of your decor in the basement. Maybe some other day.
It's a buried.
Where did I
have
find
it
this?
displayed, properly displayed under glass.
I do have it properly displayed. You had no faith in my ability to find this photo earlier
No, I'm
today.
stunned. Well,
You had no faith.
I had about as much faith of you finding that photo as I do of you getting that damn printer to work.
That's
We have a great
toughie.
printer. Hope you don't want to print anything out on it.
Yeah.
We have the world's only printer that doesn't print. It's awesome.
That's a special feat. We paid extra for
We
that.
did. Well, whatever we paid for that, we got bent over.
Yeah. Well, it's like a
Multiple
phone.
times.
We've had it for about 2 years. It's time to move on.
That better not be Wendy's.
I see.
What?
I see chili.
I'm not eating that. No. I told you I won't eat there again. The Wendy's in Burlington, they are fini. Done. All right, now, a couple quick reminders. Don't forget, we're not on Thursday night, but a week from tonight, we'll be over at the Starlight Drive-In. I guess technically it's Monroe Township. It's on. You drive through Amelia, and then you're right there. It's about 8.5 miles right off of Beachmont Avenue off of I-275. And
It's way out there.
It's the
Let's just say
worldwide.
that.
Well, you just got to be.
You just keep
once
going.
you get past the Kroger, where apparently you can work at the Kroger, but you can't go to school. But nonetheless, so you get past that. Be careful. It sneaks up on you.
Well, except
Yes.
if you use this thing called Google Maps or
Well, I know
Apple,
that, but I'm just
whatever.
saying. But I like to find things on my own without assistance.
I can't.
Although I normally can't
I
find
can't
anything.
even with that.
Anyway, when I used to write for the Post and I used to travel, honest to God, I never got directions. I would just go to the city and go, "Hey, Fred, how do you get here?"
Oh, I used to travel all the time for work.
I never, but I mean, today I would not use GPS. I would just, if I could see. Which
You're
is
a
kind
rebel.
Well, no, I don't, you know what? I'll find it. I was part of the exploratory phase of my life. Got lost in Boston, but that's a whole other story. People up there are asses. Anyway. Yeah, well, that's true. I did. Where are we? We're lost. Anyway, next Monday night, 6 o'clock. And again, we'll show this promo on our Facebook page, YouTube as well. It's the worldwide premiere of the movie How We Lookin', the voices of Marty Brenneman, Reds play-by-play announcer. Again, Catalina Wine Mixer, 7 o'clock. Then the movie premiere around 8. Love for you to come out and join us. It's our first road show. We're going to do that more often. So why not start with us next Monday? We've got some special guests, Andy Furman, Catherine Nero, and also Lance McAllister will be joining us before the end of August. So, again, we're off on Thursday nights, normally 9 to midnight, the Reality Check on News Radio 700 WLW. But we're off this month because of Reds baseball. Reds are off tonight, too. So, anyway, we appreciate, as always, you checking us out. I appreciate Lori doing a great job. Normally, she does all the work behind the scenes. She wanted to be at one point on TV.
All
right?
the work behind the scenes.
You wanted to be on TV
I did.
back in your days.
Back in my day until I took Media Management 101 at my alma mater up at Miami, and they said, but when you graduate, you have to move to the middle of nowhere and make $11,000. And I said, oh, my God, no. And I graduated, and I made $14,000.
Well,
I should have stuck with it.
I don't know that they like me when I teach because students will come to me and say, well, what advice would you give me? I want to be in this. And I say, get the hell out. Get out now before you start is usually my advice. They look at me like, I'm like, you want me to be honest? Anyway.
Did they say, be honest with me?
Well, do you want me to lie to them? I got in trouble for that years ago at the radio station I worked for because these producers would come and they say, what chance do we have of being on air here? I said, honestly, none. None. And they told me I had a bad attitude. What do you want me to do, lie to these poor kids? I won't do it. You can lie to them. You lie to everybody else. You might as well lie to them, too. Anyway, that's for a different day. Where was I?
That's a different show.
That is a different show. Yes, it is a different show.
That's not like Gamble and Finn after hours.
Yeah, we need that, maybe.
Ooh,
but we'll be
yeah.
having some of that stuff. But anyway, don't forget, like, share, tell a friend. And this gets archived, so you can check it out. And we hope that you would tell other people to enjoy it You don't have to watch it Monday. We'd like for you to watch it live,
Yeah.
but because we do it live, obviously this isn't rehearsed.
The metrics are better if you watch it live.
They are, so help us out with the metrics, whatever that's. And that's
I don't know
stuff's
what
a
that
bunch
means
of BS.
or what you
I
do with that.
It's all BS. You know, the metrics of social media is a lot like testing of the C word. Yeah. I'm just telling you. But anyway, thanks to everybody. I think Finn usually says, because if it wasn't for you, there'd be no need for us, and there'd still be no need for us. Might be. I don't know. But Finn, God love you for doing the right thing. And Minnie Finn, want to wish her the best as she voyages away to the university. So Finn rejoins, but have yourself a great night. Eagle, thanks for producing, and thanks to you. There you go. That's what you do when you're married for almost 25 years.
You can high five. We don't have to fist bump.
From throwing that baseball. I don't want a high five or a fist bump. I want something else. We're married.
It's as good as it gets.
Ought to be good for something, for God's sake. Drink another cocktail. Maybe I have a shot. Anyway, have a great night. We'll see you next Monday.